Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Saturn in our birth charts and what it represents. If you're not sure where Saturn was placed during your time of birth, there is a birth chart link down below. If you do not have your time of birth, you can check the Saturn table to find out where Saturn was placed during your time of birth. Saturn is known as a malefic planet, which means that Saturn brings challenges and obstacles into our lives. Unlike Jupiter, where Jupiter expands and brings about lots of luck and blessings, Saturn restricts us. It sets limitations, boundaries, and restrictions on our lives. Saturn is also known as the planet of karma, and is also known as the planet of the ultimate rewards. Saturn rules time. It is very slow moving. It takes Saturn about 28 years to orbit the sun. Saturn loves structure, discipline, and authority. Saturn is the natural ruler of Capricorn. Capricorn is the natural ruler of the 10th house of status. It is our public persona. So Saturn actually represents a very important part of our life. It is the peak of our chart. It is what we want the world to see us as. That is what Saturn represents. Wherever Saturn sits in your birth chart, that's the area of your life that you want the world to see you as amazing in that area. However, Saturn will not make it easy for you. Saturn will make you struggle. Saturn will make you feel like you cannot achieve in this area of your life. No matter how hard you try, no matter what sacrifices you make, you will feel like you cannot achieve in this area of your life. But that's not true. Have you ever heard someone say that when your Saturn returns, that's when you should get married? That is when you should put in for that special type job that you always wanted? Well, the reason why they're saying that is because when your Saturn returns, usually around the age of 27 through 30, that is when you've matured. That's when you should have learned the lessons of Saturn, and now you're ready to receive the blessings of Saturn. Because a lot of times if you do something that's major in your life before your Saturn returns, then you're probably gonna have to go back and redo it, depending on where Saturn sits. The house that Saturn sits in your birth chart is very important. And also to look at the houses that Saturn is looking at, the houses that Saturn is aspecting as well, because these are the areas of your life where you're going to face the most challenges and obstacles, okay? So those of you who are new to the channel, welcome to the channel, and I hope that you will subscribe and also share my content. Let's get into the video. Sagittarius. Saturn and Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the natural ruler of the 9th house. The 9th house is the house of higher learning. It is the house of travel, adventure. Sagittarians are the philosophers. Sagittarius is naturally ruled by Jupiter. So with this being said, you guys, what happens when Saturn, the planet of structure, the planet of obstacles, come into the zodiac sign of Sagittarius? What happens for these type people is they find themselves in positions where their philosophies a lot of time get lost when they're trying to teach others how to live their life, how they should be in life. A lot of times people don't really take a Saturn and Sagittarian person seriously because of the simple fact of how Saturn and Sagittarians live their life. A lot of times Saturn and Sagittarian type people do not live the type of life that they preach to others, which causes their philosophies to sometimes get lost in limbo, okay? Now, what happens for these Saturn and Sagittarian people is as they get older, especially after their Saturn returns, a lot of time they start changing their lives and they start living the life that they try and preach to others because they are learning. Saturn has taught them the hard lessons of practicing what you preach. Also, a lot of Saturn and Sagittarian people, a lot of time it takes them a very long time before they actually travel like abroad a lot of times, but it could all vary, of course, depending on the aspects in your chart. But whatever the case may be for each Saturn and Sagittarian type person, there's a lot of obstacles around travel, you know, adventure and curiosity. A lot of times Saturn and Sagittarius may feel fearful or feel regretful when they have a lot of fun or they live adventurously, because Saturn wants to bring structure, order, you know, wants to make everything solid, you know, want to work at things and make them good, because Saturn is the natural ruler of Capricorn. The 10th house, you know, is the 10th house ruler, and the 10th house is the peak of our chart. This is the status position, you know, this is our midheaven. This is where we want to shine the brightest. So what happens here for Saturn and Sagittarian people, they want to look good. They want the world to see them as good. Even when they're being adventurous, they don't want to be, you know, they don't want to disgrace themselves. You know, they don't want to be too adventurous and people hear about it and talk about them and make them feel bad about it, you know? But Saturn and Sagittarians, what you have to learn is that you have to live your life according to how you wish to live your life. And if you want to preach to others, make sure your life aligns with what you're preaching. Also, Saturn and Sagittarians, if you want to travel. Nobody's stopping you but you. If you want to go across the border, you want to go to another country, go. Buy a ticket, save your money, buy a ticket, and you go. It doesn't matter if you have someone to go with you or not, you know? It doesn't matter. And also, when it comes to work for Saturn and Sagittarian, for Saturn and Sagittarian people, a lot of times you have a very difficult time in trying to choose a career. You guys can be very indecisive because the biggest part of you wants to be adventurous. You want to have fun. You want to live freely. But then Saturn comes in and restricts that freedom. Saturn comes in and restricts that adventurous nature, and it wants to bring structure to your adventure. It wants to bring structure to your curiosity. It wants to bring structure in everything that you do in terms of your philosophies, you know? And it's like, it's very difficult. A lot of Saturn and Sagittarians though, once they master their abilities of being that professional philosopher or being that professional traveler, they actually become like ministers, you know? They're like life coaches and things of that nature, you know? They may be a travel agent, you know, teaching other people how to get out there and truly live life. So Saturn and Sagittarians, if you're having a difficult time now and your Saturn has not returned, just wait. And even if your Saturn has returned and you're still not where you want to be in terms of adventure, traveling the world, and really just preaching or teaching, a lot of Saturn and Sagittarians want to be teachers. And if you're not teaching or doing the things that you truly want to do, just hold on just a little while longer. Just continue to learn the hard lessons that Saturn is trying to teach you, and then I promise you, sooner than later, you will be that philosopher that the world knows about.
You will be that teacher, you know? You will also be that person who's all about travel. Maybe you work at a park or something, all about, you know, adventure, showing people how to just have fun, how to let go, because you had to go through so many restrictions in your whole life. Even as a child, Saturn and Sagittarians had to feel restricted from fun. Being with their friends, hanging out with their friends or siblings, you know, it was just always some type of restriction, and it's okay, you know. Just remember that some people get it early, some people get it later in terms of fun and just living life. And a lot of times Saturn and Sagittarians, you sometimes get it later in life, and that's okay. Just stay strong. Remember that in life, it's not about how much fun you can have or how many friends you can have in life, but what it's truly about is how much you truly enjoy what you're doing and who you're doing it with. That's the ultimate happiness for a Saturn and Sagittarian, is to be happy with him or herself and to feel free to live their life however they want to, spend their money however they want to. There's something about freedom for Saturn and Sagittarians that they want, but there's such a restriction around that freedom, because Saturn and Sagittarians, they just, you guys, you care so much about what people think of you in terms of your intelligence, in terms of your doing, in terms of your being, and you have to let go of all of that, because Saturn and Sagittarians, you guys are amazing, you're powerful, you are understanding, you are relatable, you are teachers, you're knowledgeable, you know so much, and you have so much wisdom to share with the whole wide world. So what are you afraid of? Just let go, and just let go of your fears and just step out, make the first step, and I promise you, you're gonna be so happy that you did, okay? So with that being said, you guys, that is my take on Saturn and Sagittarius. Until the next time, I wish you so much love, peace, and so many wonderful blessings. Bye.